Television has evolved. We need to be wherever the audiences are. If the audiences have diversified wherever they are, we need to present our content to them in that form.
What has changed with the viewership in the UK market?
Today's generation, they want authenticity. They want fast-moving content. They want quality, good production, elegance, and truthfulness.
There's always this question mark whether the numbers are genuine, the numbers are authentic.
The sample size of South Asian households is very skewed. So if one household is on leave or is on holiday, my viewership will go down by 20,000 people immediately by only one person not watching the program. It is very skewed. It's like finding a needle in a haystack.
Yeah.
We were on 2 or 3 platforms 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Now we reached to 35 million users. It's not that linear is dying. I'll say lazy linear is dying.
This is Lyca Extra, the sound for the British Asian generation, a part of the Lyca Radio Network.
Hi, welcome back to Lyca Extra, a brand new episode, the sound of the British Asian generation, a part of the Lyca Radio Network. I'm Raj Badin, and here today talking about the state of Indian television in the UK and Indian television full stop, because there's so much that has changed in recent time. And actually, not just Indian, but also generic television has changed in the UK because of the influx of OTT platforms and also how TV is being consumed today. So joining me today, and I'm so happy to have a special guest here in the studio with me, someone that is a friend and also a business associate as well. And I'm so happy to welcome to you Parul Goel, the territory head of ZEE Network Europe, and CFO of Americas and Europe as well. Parul, really good to see you. First of all, welcome to Lyca Extra.
Thank you, Raj, for kind introduction. It's a pleasure to be here. And I came to know today that it's your first episode you're shooting for Lyca Extra. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Honestly speaking, we've had lots of firsts, me and you, Parul. So today, doing something special like this makes it even more worth the while. So
absolutely.
And I'm hoping that today is going to be one that you'll remember as well.
Absolutely.
When it
The
comes
world
to podcasts.
will remember.
Absolutely. Parul, so let's talk about not just Indian television, but just generally television. There's always this question mark about the future and what the current state of television is because of certain, comparisons with OTT platforms and the way we're consuming TV. What would you say, as someone who's leading one of the biggest TV brands in the UK and digital brands in the UK, what would you say personally about the state of Indian television in the UK?
Well, when you say Indian television in the UK, there is one name which comes to everyone's mind, ZEE.
Yeah.
Because ZEE was launched 30 years ago, and ZEE was the first television channel in the UK which people had access to. So whenever you talk to any Asian audiences or specifically any South Asian audiences in the UK, you talk about Indian television, they will say, oh yes, it's ZEE TV.
Yeah.
Whichever channel they are watching, but the first name which comes on everyone's mouth is, here we go, ZEE. So television has evolved very, very differently compared to what has happened to the technology. Just telling you in a nutshell, I'll not tell you the history or what's happened. The current state of television is that so much of content is being produced today from our homeland India, catering to South Asian audiences globally, not just for Indians or Pakistanis or Bangladeshis, but global audiences as well. So much of content is being made, produced, put on all the platforms. One of the reasons at ZEE we believe is we need to be wherever the audiences are. If the audiences have diversified from a big screen to a small screen to a tablet to a shorts, wherever they are, we need to present our content to them in that form, curate our content specific to their needs, and give them quality. One major thing which we have done in the last 1 year when it comes to content, which is defining the state of Indian television from ZEE's perspective, is today's generation, they want authenticity. Today's generation, they want fast-moving content. They want quality, good production, elegance, and truthfulness. You will see this all these, I'll say, behaviors and features in our content today.
Yeah.
Whether you see these on linear channels, or whether you see these on our OTT, or whether you see these on our microdramas app, or whether we curate content for our social media, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, you will see specific content is being curated for audiences across the platforms.
And I must congratulate you, actually, Parul, because 3 shows are doing extremely well in India. And when we get the report on a weekly basis to see since the transformation, since you've had this whole revamp for ZEE and the ZEE brand refresh, the 3 shows, Ganga Mai, Vasudha, and also Tumse Tumtak, all 3 of them are doing incredibly well. So absolutely, definitely keeping in mind with the kind of changing of a consumer demand and the characteristics that you just mentioned. But I do want to speak to you about the viewership in Britain. Now, you're saying that the audiences have shifted on certain platforms, and obviously for you, it's quite important to make sure you follow where the viewers are going. But what has changed with the viewership in the UK market? Because when it comes to BARB, and we'll talk about BARB a little bit more later, but when it comes to BARB, there's always this question mark whether the numbers are genuine, the numbers are authentic, and whether the numbers are a true reflection of what consumers are watching.
No, so you want to discuss the controversy first. That's fine. What I'll say is BARB is a currency in the UK. We have to live with it. They are what they are, and they are a regulated body as well. Because of our population size in the UK, I want to break it down for you so that even your listeners will be able to know that what we are talking about. What is BARB? So
Yeah.
BARB is a measurement agencies which measure TV ratings
Yeah.
based on viewer behavior of a particular channel or a particular content which is being coming on the television. Recently, they have started measuring digital as well, but predominantly it's television which they measure, and they measure with the audio codecs. They don't measure with what's coming on TV. The technology works with the audio coming out from television and with whatever internal systems they have, the meters they keep in the panel homes. That's how they measure the ratings. Now, in the UK, we have approximately 2 million plus Indians living here, around 1.5 to 1.7 million Pakistani people, and close to 500,000 Bangladeshi people. So that makes it approximately 4.5 million people living in the UK of South Asian origin, plus another few 100,000 of Sri Lankan origin as well. So if you see, we are approximately 5% to 6% population of the whole country. When you see BARB ratings on a daily basis, we are not even 1% of the BARB ratings. Whereas South Asian represents 6% population. However, when you see the ratings, it's less than 1% or around 1%. Where is the remaining 4%? This is a big question mark. I understand 50% of the people, they might be watching or they may be watching mainstream content, but that still should be 2 to 2.5%. The sample size of South Asian households is very skewed. It's hardly a few hundred households which give ratings or which are measured by BARB. So if one household is on leave or is on holiday or is not watching, the whole thing goes out of proportion. If you have a BARB meter at your home, for example, and you are away on a holiday in Maldives, which you went recently, and you represent, let's say, 20,000 people. So my viewership, and if you're a ZEE viewer, my viewership will go down by 20,000 people immediately by only one person not watching the program. So it is very skewed. It's like, and how do you find this household? It's like finding a needle in a haystack.
Yeah. So going back to this question about BARB, despite all this, you're still with BARB. And when you raise this question with BARB, and if someone does go on holiday, you're losing 20,000 viewers of yours that are watching, and suddenly overnight they've gone. What does that mean? What does BARB say to you about that as a broadcaster? Because that is your income. That's your revenue.
Yes, certainly. However, we are not dependent on BARB revenues only. That's the main thing. BARB is a currency. We have to live with it. It gives us insights, little insights, what's working, what's not working.
Yeah.
But it's not deciding our future. We are deciding and running our present on our own.
Yeah.
That will decide our future. So what we have done is, if BARB is not delivering the results which we want BARB to deliver, because if India is giving top 3 shows out of the 6 shows, and in the UK the same proportion is not there, I have no other option but to being so versatile in terms of content offerings to the consumer, available on all platforms, give more products, launch more products, give them variety, and make money.
So the programs that are working in India, is that a true reflection of what the audience in the UK wants?
Absolutely. Because the ratings in India are from the urban households. And if you see, the behavior of the UK audience is urban. It's not rural India, it's urban India. So that behavior is resonating with urban India.
And one thing that ZEE has always done has been the forefront of digital transformation. ZEE Companion, ZEE and You, all the programs in Zing, ZEE Music at the time. And you were also part of the and you have been part of the organization for many, many years, Parul. So you've seen the kind of shift. One thing that's very important was the local content. Even running a drama which was recorded in the UK, Cloud9, which shut down after it launched about a year. But at least that was attempted. Why is it now that you're not investing so much in local programming?
Well, I'll go back in a bit of history. ZEE was the first one. I'll say, even when I joined ZEE, there were around 4 or 5 local shows running on ZEE channels. Way back in 2008, I'm talking about. And more recently, when we started ZEE Companion around 2013 or 2014, that also ran for more than 5 years. And after that, I do not see any other local content which is being produced. So we have been very kind of proactive in producing local content from the last 30 years. In the last 4 or 5 years, we have not done anything, because for how long we can do without any return on investments? We need support from clients. We need support from advertisers. We need support from our consumers, our audiences. Audiences support, fantastic. But there is other support as well, because we are a commercial organization.
Yeah.
We need to make sure that whatever we are spending on is feasible, and we have X% return on investment.
And then when it comes to British Asian, so the consumer, so I'm talking about the viewer. So if I'm the viewer, I'm feeling like that the Asian TV channels in the UK are taking the easy route by just airing programs that are being shown in India, import them in the UK and broadcast them. The innovation that they had before with local program, which ZEE was a part of, has gone. And maybe ZEE was ahead of its time at the time, because ratings, whatever at the time, rating system has changed a little bit now. So you never know. If bring back another local show, it might work even better.
Absolutely. We are working on some innovative plans to bring in local production back in the UK, not just in the UK, but in Europe predominantly. So the way we are engaging UK audiences, not by just local programming, we are organizing watch parties of Indian content. We are organizing watch parties for our digital content and engaging people, talking to people, asking their feedback, and people are loving it.
Yeah.
I mean, we have done almost 5-6 watch parties till now, whereby we have showcased whatever content we have, and people are just loving it. And the feedback we have got was mixed, which should be the right feedback.
Yeah.
And we have given the same to the production houses and to even ZEE TV India. And this is working really good for us. People are engaging, people are interacting. They know how relevant ZEE's content in today's DNA age is with them and with their families.
And when it comes to, I'm going back to this question about Cloud9, the drama that Zing started. I remember everyone was very excited to see a show that was based in the UK featuring British Asian faces. If that dropped on Netflix today, it would probably do really well. But for a Zing at that time, it was completely a novel, a completely new thing, but didn't register much on the rating side of things. Why do you think something like that would have a bigger uptake on a Netflix and not on a Zing?
Well, I'll be very happy for Netflix to approach me and ask for the rights. I'll be very happy to give it to them and discuss the commercials. See, the audience behavior
Yeah.
on Netflix, or the kind of audiences, the variety of audiences you see on Netflix is different on Z.
Yeah.
Today, Z, or I'll say all Indian TV channels are watched by Gen 1 or Gen 2 maximum.
Mhm.
Not Gen 3 or today's Gen Z. No, they don't watch Indian television because they don't find it's for them.
Yeah.
And it's not their mistake, it's our mistake. It's not that linear is dying. I'll say lazy linear is dying. Will not explain that much, which is fine. One,
Do you know, honestly, I would like to. I'd like you to elaborate a little bit on that. Lazy linear. We're referring to some of the broadcasters, the linear broadcasters that stick to a generic format for their output and leave it as it is. Whereas there's a lot more innovation you bring into Z.
absolutely. I'll just stop on there.
Okay.
Because what we do here is, even for our linear channel of ZEE TV, ZEE Cinema,
Yeah.
I'll tell you one example of ZEE Cinema. It's the same Indian movies, Bollywood movies we showcase on ZEE Cinema, what ZEE Cinema India shows.
Yeah.
We have the same movies on other movie channels as
Yeah.
well. 2025, as per BARB only, out of 12 months, 7 months, ZEE Cinema was holding the top position.
Well done.
Why? Because if I have a super hit title or I have a medium level title,
Yeah.
it was performing better because of our scheduling,
Yeah.
because of the knowledge of the audiences, and we know what people want to watch at what time, at what day.
It's the packaging you do. So even the themes, if you've got like a weekend which is going to be a particular theme of a line of war films that you're going to be showing, or whatever it is going to be, you've got a certain package, the same film stuff what you mentioned, but it's just the way it's being presented to the audience.
Absolutely. Like I know a Kurz movie, which is a classic of Rishi Kapoor.
Yeah.
How will it perform against other movies?
Mhm.
How will Hum Aapke Kaun perform will against other movies? So we know what audiences watch. We know what audiences watch at what time.
Yeah.
And that's how we curate the channel. We
Yeah.
don't just package,
Yeah.
we curate the channel
Yeah.
as per the audience requirements.
Great. And we know also that you've got some massive movies that are coming. We might as well give a quick plug because you've got the biggest movie of the year so far, which is Border 2. That's coming.
I mean, I've just been told last week that we have got the rights for Border 2. And now it's a pressure as well because we have to monetize it.
Talking about digital transformation, I keep bringing this in because I think Z generally has been in the forefront, and with Z5, that's one thing. I think if any broadcaster has pushed out the OTT to a completely new level, hands-on, has been Z. With Z5, tell us Z5, where does it fit in the digital scenario in the UK?
Well, I'll say I think Z5 is the biggest OTT Indian app available to any of the UK consumers today.
Yeah.
And I'll say Indian OTT app. It has more than 400 originals,
Yeah.
2,000 movies, more than 12 languages of different channels, and it's available in 8 different language packs.
Mhm.
So we have again curated Z5 app as per the language, not as per the region.
Yeah, because it's Z5 Hindi, Z5
Absolutely.
Punjabi, or whatever it is. Yeah.
Absolutely. And the traction we have seen on Z5 is amazing.
Mhm.
People who only want, let's say, Hindi pack,
Yeah.
they subscribe to Hindi pack.
Yeah.
And people who want Telugu pack, we are giving them a choice to only subscribe to Telugu pack. And the choices of programs, the algorithms, the recommendation engine works as per their language packs,
Mhm.
which is fantastic. And there is more to it, the accessibility, the running of the app, the streaming quality on the app. I mean, so much of content is available on 4K. On Z5, it's mind-blowing. And we have kept a different rail there which says 4K videos, 4K content, 4K movies. People love it.
And live content, because you've got the live channels on there as well.
Absolutely. There are more than 40 live channels on there. And in the next 12 months, from April 2026 to March 2027, we have a plan to launch around 120 plus titles in the coming 12 months.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
Do you see you looking at maybe phasing out your linear television so you can focus on your digital, just like a lot of the other broadcasters have done? Is that something that would be in the equation for Z?
I'll say both will coexist. It will be a hybrid. We cannot live with one because audiences have diversified themselves so much. We can't be only on one platform. We can't be. Like recently, in the last 2 years, we have launched so-called fast channels. They are called.
So what are fast channels? Because I want to talk to you about the fast channels, because you've had a massive uplift in Europe about that. So just for anyone who's listening and watching, fast channels are what?
So fast channels are free ad-supported streaming television channels. They are normal TV channels. Again, we have curated them. Oh, okay. Coming back one more step. They are the channels available on the OEMs, which we call it like original equipment manufacturing devices and TVs.
Like a Samsung,
Like
or
a Samsung or LG or a Roku. So they have their own apps. Just imagine now the way media world is going to be in the next 5 to 10 years. Samsung, who supplies a television set, has its own app which gives you 150 plus, 200 plus television channels, on-demand content, and everything for free. And quality content. It may not have the recent ones, but you never know. People like Samsung and people like LG, these companies, they have no shortage of money. They can invest if they see what the potential is going forward. So they have launched these apps, and they have launched channels free on those platforms. And the only way to monetize those channels is through advertisements. So what we did when we found out something called fast is people are talking about billions of revenues can be made or is being made in America. There's nothing here. Well, we started, and within 24 months, I'm proud to say that Z has launched more than 10 fast channels across the UK and Europe. And we are serving audiences, not just our Indian origin, but Germany, France, Nordics, Netherlands, and across the Europe, 12 countries we are catering in 3 different languages through our fast channels. So we have dubbed our ZEE TV Hindi in German, in French, and in English. And you won't believe, the mainstream audiences of these countries are loving it. They love the way our mother-in-laws and daughter-in-laws interact on the programs. They love it.
And in the UK, we've seen the return of TV through Fast as well. So that's been a big achievement, because TV was such a massive brand in the UK before it was shut down on linear.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, the TV was launched last year on Samsung TV Plus and Rakuten TV. And it's growing month on month.
Just generally about this kind of shift from linear to digital, you're saying that they will coexist. But how?
It's not a shift. It is diversification.
Okay.
So I'll say linear will be there. We need to educate people. See, linear will be, or linear is very relevant when it comes to life, when it comes to reality shows, when it comes to news. I'm talking in general, not just from Z point of view. Linear is very relevant when ABC episode is going to come at 8 o'clock in the evening, and there's only one way to watch that's on this particular place. The same thing can be done, or is being done on OTT as well. The same thing is being done on the microdramas app. Like we have Bullet, in which you can watch 1 minute episodes for, let's say, 100 episodes. Fantastic app. And that's going to be a premium one. I'm telling you, I'm warning you now. It's going to be very expensive.
Okay.
Because microdramas app is very, very premium.
I was going to say, so to do all these things, extra resources, extra costs for you, because before it was just traditional TV, running it, broadcasting whatever's coming from India. But now also adapting these programs, adapting this for the audiences that are going and following that audience on these different platforms is also extra cost to you. So more revenue for you to cover these costs?
Absolutely. I mean, without revenue predictions, we don't spend. So what we do, we have a very basic rule at ZEE. We need to look at the bottom line first before we see the top line.
Absolutely. No, great. So how do you envisage ZEE as a linear service in the next, say, not even 2 years, say the next year and a half? What do you see? What's going to be happening for ZEE on the linear front, and how will it be sitting next to your ZEE5 service?
Well, like I said, it will coexist. For the foreseeable future, it will coexist.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen after 5 years. I mean, nobody knows. If somebody says they know what's going to happen after 5 years, great. I would like to learn from there because technology is shifting and changing so fast.
Yeah.
I cannot predict that of what's going to happen after 5 years. But yes, for the next few years coming in, linear will be more interesting. The more and more interesting content needs to be made, produced, which will keep its relevance.
Yeah.
And of course, when people watch linear for escapism, people watch linear when they are watching something with their family.
Yeah.
Because people are educated in the way to watch linear television in a living room, in a family setting, and family dramas, or watching a nice movie at the weekend, spending a good family time together.
Yeah.
OTT is consumed mostly solo.
Yeah.
So we have to make content, or rather, we are making content for all the audiences across. It's a different content, different curated content, different type of content.
Fab. A couple of other random questions. We spoke about the BARB panel. If, say, BARB increased the South Asian representation they've got, and I'm sure you brought this up because we have the same thing for radio that we have as well with Radio. How would you think ZEE and your ZEE channels would sit in that new panel?
Just ask me a direct question, I'll answer.
So BARB, tell me about BARB and your relationship with BARB.
My relationship with BARB is fantastic. Like I said earlier, I have, my own complaints with BARB, and they always reply effectively and on time. I agree or disagree, that's different. But yes, they are very cooperative. They do reply, and it is what it is. We have to live with it. There is no option. That's the reason we have diversified and reaching audiences wherever they are and making money from all sources of, all platforms, wherever the viewers are. We're not leaving anything where the viewers are, and we're not there.
But do you know, every morning, all the broadcasters that sign up to BARB, they get ratings, overnight ratings. So do you not get frustrated when you've got a smaller rating than what is expected for ZEE and your flagship channel, ZEE TV? And when you have a chat with BARB, what's the conversation you have? Because fine, a couple of months, 3 months, even a year is acceptable. But after all this time, when we know ZEE is such a massive brand.
Well, because I don't have only BARB to look at.
Yeah.
I have Samsung to look at. I have Rakuten to look at. Today we are on almost 18 platforms. We were on 2 or 3 platforms 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And reaching only, 2 or 3 million viewers in the UK, Europe.
Yeah.
Now we reach to 35 million users. So BARB is just one set I look at. I have to look at 10 other sets every morning. And when I see all data consolidated, I'm happy.
Do you regret going on BARB when this whole thing with Sky Asia happened, and when all the channels, Asian TV channels, switched from being in a package like a View Asia or whatever it was at the time, back in the early 2000s, and then moving to Sky? What's your opinion on that shift at that time?
See, I'll say bygones.
Do you think the industry should have moved on, moved together rather than moving on and everyone's working on their own channels?
See, when it comes to industry, I'll say we are still struggling as an industry. As ZEE, we are growing. But as an industry, we are still struggling. We need to collaborate more. We need to cooperate more. We need to diversify more together. We need to talk more together. I always say we are extraordinary together. On our own alone, we are trying. We are growing. But I'll not talk about other broadcasters. However, I still believe we need to work together. That's the only way to grow this Asian media industry in the UK. And I give you one example. When I joined ZEE way back in 2008, we used to sell a ZEE Cine Awards one advertisement for £200.
Yeah.
I mean, my team is selling the same advertisement for £200.
Yeah.
15 years gone, 16 years gone, that rate hasn't changed. Why? I think we did not educate our advertising clients properly. And it's not just the case with us, it's with the whole industry.
So would you blame the broadcasters for that? Or would you blame the fact that the clients have just become complacent with that same rate or the rate that hasn't changed for so many years? What's your take on it on a commercial level?
Well, I'll say, first of all, I'll not blame anyone. I'll say it's not a blame game. I'll say education was not given at the right time by the right people to the right people.
Mhm.
It's the education part. It's not a blame game.
Mhm.
We need to correct it now if we can, which we are. So today, if we need some money against any property, we put our foot down. We need XYZ. Otherwise, we can't afford it. We are sorry. We can give something else, but we can't give this.
Yeah.
Because that's the way to move forward. Otherwise, uh, it's not going to work for long term.
Yeah. Parul, one thing I'll give to Z is the fact that when it comes to marketing innovation, you beat Lyca, you're using, whether billboards you're using outdoors, tube stations, the cricket panels, the ground. Is it Oval or was it Lords? I think it was Lords, wasn't
Lords,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, Lords. So these things are very expensive. Yet one thing that you've always done is stayed ahead of the game when it comes to marketing. How does that make you feel, the fact that you've done so many firsts? And I know also you're going to be mentioning this Uber thing today as well. That's something
Yeah,
started.
so you have pulled the cat out of the hat, yeah? No, so thank you. Today we have launched our first ever Uber campaign. So not just on Uber Eats, but Uber Eats and Uber Drives. You will be able to see our Uber campaign of ZEE TV and ZEE5 in the UK and in Germany as well, for ZEE TV and for ZEE1, our German channel, and ZEE5 as well in Germany. So this is a campaign which we have started in our top two biggest markets, UK and in Germany. It's the first ever done by any South Asian broadcaster, or I'll say we are a content and tech company. So yeah, we like to experiment, and we like to be where people are,
Mhm.
and wherever they are. Again, this is consumption of content.
Yep.
If people are using Uber, if we Asian people are using Uber, they'll see Z.
Yeah,
And
you're following the audience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And obviously, Z was also in the forefront. Keep saying this because Z has done so many firsts. When it comes to events and doing events on a large scale in the UK, that's suddenly stopped as well. Z Cine Awards was happened a couple of times in the UK and London. Are we going to ever see that back?
Of course, yes. The plan is on, and I'm waiting for some multi-million pound deal. As soon as it's being done, there will be a Z Cine Awards here. No, just to tell you on a serious thing that Z Cine Awards is not an event which can be done so easily. It needs 1,000 people to coordinate. It needs 1,000 people to work together, and it's a 6-month long preparation. It's not 2 weeks on and done, because we have to do work permits for more than 1,000 people.
Yeah.
They fly from India, artists, their staff, our own people. They stay in the hotels, rehearsals, venues, production. It's very expensive. And the A category artists, and then there is a top tier. So that cost has gone up massively high now.
Yeah.
It's not unbearable.
Yeah.
That's why it's happening in India. But the moment UK is ready to support that, we'll be doing it. So we want UK to be ready, not Z. Z is ready.
We're ready for it. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to ZEE Cine Awards in the UK. Parul, on a personal level, you've been your background's obviously finance, and how you jumped to becoming the head of ZEE international operation in the UK, US, and also Europe as well. How has that been? I mean, how has that shift been for you from a finance background to running one of the largest networks in the UK?
I'll say God has been kind. But I treat every day as a learning day. I learn something every day. I try to do something new every single day.
Yeah.
And my passion has always been to give returns to the business. Even when I was doing finance in Z, I'm still doing finance in Z.
Yeah.
My thing was, how do I contribute to the top line?
Yep.
So that thing is still imbibed in me. And I always feel business is very simple. If somebody is investing it in us 10, we need to give 12 back.
Yeah.
That's what keeps me motivated. And and we need to give viewers as much variety as much as we can, so that they don't feel bored.
Yeah.
I mean, we need variety. How can we forget
Agree.
about the viewers?
Another question: how much do you watch ZEE TV? How much do you watch your own channel? And what's your favorite show on ZEE TV?
Well, that's a very good question, because I watch my TV at least for 40 to 50 minutes a day. And I watch 3 shows in that time, because I know what's happening. I watch it from a different angle, from content consumption, and as a lover of ZEE as well. Not just ZEE, I watch other channels as well, I want to tell you.
I was going to ask you that, actually.
No, I do watch, because I have to sell the product. I need to know what's happening in my product. I can only sell the product if I know my product. So that's why I do watch ZEE, and I do watch other channels as well. My favorite show currently on ZEE is Ganga Mai Ki Betiya. It's doing fantastic.
You're telling me about the authentic love story, right?
I mean, it's so nicely presented, pure. And I love the way it's being done. I have not seen such kind of a production quality and kind of content which is being made now. It's amazing.
If there's one program from another channel you love to have on ZEE, which one would it be?
That's a difficult one, actually, because you're asking for one. If we would have shown those programs on our channel, we could have done it much better. It won't be a program, actually. I'll be honest. I'll say a movie.
Right.
And that's one movie, Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge.
And you've actually worked with Yashwaj for Come Fall in Love.
Absolutely. So it was a coincidence last year in 2025 when ZEE was celebrating 30 years in the UK, and DDLJ was celebrating 30 years as well. So I think that was not a coincidence. I think it was a destiny made, that both the top brands in the television and cinema, they came together and wrote the history.
Absolutely amazing, honestly. And let's just keep rewriting that history for ZEE. Parul, all I want to say is it's been a pleasure having you here on Lyca Extra. My first time with you here as well. So thank you very much. Have you got a final message of what we can expect over the next few months from the ZEE umbrella?
Well, when it comes to ZEE, ZEE is your stories, your ZEE. I leave on that note. Keep watching ZEE. Keep consuming content which you love. Wherever you want, ZEE is available. And I wish you all the very best to all your viewers. And may God bless all of them. And prayers and wishes to everyone.
Parul, thank you so much for your time today on Lyca Extra. You like storytelling. That's exactly what we do on Lyca Extra. And one thing that's very important is to hear the conversations of successful leaders just like Parul Goel. And don't forget, you can share, you can also like, you can also do whatever you want with it. Yeah, it's Lyca Extra, available on all the major streaming platforms. Thanks very much. Until the next episode.
This is Lyca Extra, the sound for the British Asian generation, a part of the Lyca Radio Network.